Welcome back, guys, to Triangle Strategy, where last episode, after viewing Flanagan's character stories where he earned a new epithet, we learned of Corrinton's new invention and his misguided use of it, before continuing with some of Chapter 15's story, as the Royalists continue to be a thorn stuck in Glenbrook's paw. With words of bandits approaching the Roselle village within Wolffort domain as well, we viewed Hossabara's and Lionel's second stories, and we now witness new goings-on in Hyzante. Anyway, with 5 character stories now remaining, let's find out what's going on at the Hierophant's Palace. With Glenbrook reclaimed and Aesfrost dealt a heavy blow, Hyzante takes the opportunity to make a strategic move. Yes. Now, what are they going to do?
House Wolffort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City. And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Aesfrosti forces in killing Thalas and other commanding officers.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
Oh, to see Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt. Though, this could be our chance to crush the duchy once and for all.
Just because they're licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron, after all.
Ha! Iron. We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Norzelian mines to us. A paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
The Grand Norzelian mines. The spark that lit the flame of Aesfrost's aggression. But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need? I should have Milo look into the matter.
Minister Edor?
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Aesfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenoa have both asked for help, and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the Crown City.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenoa of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Aesfrost, Glenbrook. They will both be ours before long.
I mean, it happened behind closed doors, but we witnessed it. And so Hyzante's ambitions are really, really super truly revealed. All they want to do is actually conquer Norzelia. So you've got conquer Norzelia. Conquer Norzelia? Why am I in the middle of this? Poor Glenbrook. Yes, well, we knew they weren't good allies to begin with, which is why we searched for leverage, kind of like in a position. We knew that it was hard to deal with them on equal terms. But now, we, the viewer, know their true goal. But the rest of our guys don't. And it's just really irritating. We've had like 2 instances in the last half hour, or 20 minutes, of people getting so close to figuring out a thing, and just not figuring out a thing. We're about to go for a choice time, but shall I get doing some more lovely stuff here? Ian's. While paying a visit to a nearby village with Serenoa, Ian finally realizes what he can do as a blacksmith. But of course, once we go into the choice time, we won't be able to view any for a bit. Just a little bit.
This place was host to a battle not long ago, wasn't it?
We have come here to help. Let us offer what relief we can.
I never imagined the war would spiral this out of hand. Before the fighting started, all I cared about was becoming the realm's greatest blacksmith. I dreamed of forging the perfect weapon, a testament to strength. But what is strength, truly? Of late, I have pondered much on that question.
And have you arrived at an answer?
Well,
There they are. Thanks for the sweets you gave us. Hey, let's play a game.
Very well. What shall we play? Apologies, Jens. You may return. You needn't wait for me.
Come on, over here.
I believe I may have found my answer, Lord Serenoa. Courage, kindness, warmth that kindles a smile upon a child's face. The fortitude to keep fighting, no matter what trials you may face. Through it all, your heart remains unbent and unbroken. That is what will end this war. You, my lord, and the unmatched weapons you carry within you.
Hey, you should play with us too.
If you insist, here I come!
I was kind of like, why isn't he being invited to play too? That's a little bit mean. My convictions have been strengthened further, but with that, no more character stories have appeared. So it's time for us to go check out our next conviction stuffy vote. They're the scales for thinking, aren't they? I just feel like that's the scale's name, right? Yes. So, diverging paths. Let's get to it.
Thank you all for helping to determine the extent of the damage to the capital. This information will be invaluable as we proceed with reconstruction. There is also happy word from Castle Wolffort. My Lord Father is awake. They say he is recovering apace and is already up and walking.
Those are glad tidings indeed.
He says he would like to see us and hear of all that has passed while he was taken ill.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll saddle the horses.
Would that we could depart at once, but the messenger brought another piece of news.
Bandits plague the outskirts of the Rosellan village.
Jerome and his folk are there. They can handle a few mangy thieves, surely.
Not according to the messenger. The bandits are proving a formidable foe.
Which is why they have asked us for aid.
Apologies for my tardiness. It's sudden, I know, but I must ask you a favor.
What is it?
I suspect Patrian and his Royalists of filching relief supplies.
We've no proof it's them, but the fact remains. The people in most need of those goods are not receiving them.
The matter warrants investigating at the very least, and I would ask for Wolffort's assistance.
I see. Well, we were just discussing what we ought to do next. Allow me to explain the 3 courses of action before us. 1. Return to Castle Wolffort as my Lord Father requests. 2. Defend the Rosellan village from bandits. Or 3. Remain in the capital to investigate the Royalists.
Lord Simon has recovered. What splendid news. If I could only go to him myself and thank him for all House Wolffort has done. But I cannot leave the capital in the throes of a possible scandal. Too many hold the royal family in contempt as it is.
That may be the case, but now that Lord Simon has awoken, someone must make sure he is healthy and apprise him of recent events. I would go to Castle Wolffort, Lord Serenoa, if it pleases you.
My heart breaks for the Rosellan village. Let me go to its defense, even if I must go alone.
I cannot allow that. It's far too dangerous a task for one person.
Well, I would have the Wolffort soldiers with me, of course. Besides, do you recall our first meeting?
Of course I do. You were being assailed by rogues at the port.
If you hadn't been there, who knows what would have become of me. But I am not as weak now as I was then. I am stronger, enough that I shall bring no dishonor to House Wolffort's name. My lord, have faith in me. Let me do this.
Very well.
It seems best that Benedict, Frederica, and I each attend to these pressing matters. Separately.
Indeed, but the rest of us cannot be in 3 places at once. We can only choose one path to take. Bring the scales of conviction.
I mean, you could split up and like pull like the right expertise areas. You don't all have to go to one place, you know, guys. You do know, like, this is a possibility. There are multiple ones of you that can go to multiple places. This is the whole thing about the choices. Everyone's like, oh yeah, we better do all our own stuff. It's like, no, everyone doesn't have to follow you around, Serenoa. They're not little puppies on a leash. I gotta stop just for a second to say hi, Oni. Who wrote, first time ever dropped by the stream, but like, no, practically grew up watching your playthroughs. I always feel worried when someone says that. I'm kind of like going, I hope I was a positive influence. Every time someone says that, it's like, I hope I wasn't bad. But yes, it also makes you feel old knowing that you've been doing it for like 10 to 13 years now. But yeah, we're still going consistently. So thank you for dropping by the stream saying hi. It was nice to read that. Right. So, straight away, I'm sure you can 100% tell where I would want to go. On the basis of, was it chapter 2 or chapter 3 that he has been unconscious for in a coma and now he's finally woken up? That means something. Something going on there. It can't be just go over and go, you've been a good kid. I'm taking back the lordship. It won't be like that. So yeah. That's where I'd want to go out of anyone. I reckon Frederica can deal with stuff. And Roland has. Here's the other thing. I reckon Frederica can deal with stuff with the Wolffort soldiers. Yeah, she is very powerful now. Also, Roland needs to do his blooming job. It's literally your first trial, Roland. Do it. Be a king. This is your chance. If you went by your side, you could... She's very good at killing people from range. 1 shot. 1 KO. I cannot help but feel restless. But yes, I see the vote has been put up there, so I'm interested in what other people think as well. But equally, new pressing event, which you would have felt bad to go for, but then everyone just kind of went, oh, we can deal with our own stuff. So I'm like, cool. I'm going to go do the thing that's basically been sitting there as a background element for the story for like 13, 12, whatever chapters. He's finally awake. That's pretty cool. I can't help but feel restless. We reclaimed the Crown City and have already begun restoration efforts. There should be no question as to what needs to be done here. And yet something has me unsettled. Oh! Only one person wants to return? Like, well, no, I guess that makes sense because Benedict... Well, no, Anna... Well, Anna is kind of Benedict's +1, but then Anna is the undecided Anna. It's interesting that the two that aren't are the Wolffort people. They don't know what to do at this point in time. So yeah. Remain in the Crown City and expose the corrupt Royalists, travel to the Roselle village and investigate the bandits. Can I convince people away from him? So yeah, we know what I want to do, but am I going to be able to do it? Can I leave? Okay, I can leave so I can go explore some places too. Of course, we always do that first. So this doesn't give like really much deliberation over this one. It is just literally, it's been sitting there for 12 to 13 or more chapters. Life is, you know, I'm gonna go there. I see sparkly. I can't get sparkly. Large HP recovery pellets ×2. Medina will like that. She get like bonus points of Medina for that. I must admit, I'm deeply fascinated by you, Lord Serenoa. Don't go to the mine. A lord turned saint who won back his kingdom from Aesfrosted clutches and saw the prince back to his throne. I can only wonder how your people will welcome such a hero home. Pray allow me to accompany you, my lord. If I go to Wolffort, I suppose Milo will be coming with me. Okay, we learnt about Milo's destination. Why do you want to go to Wolffort? I thought you'd be trying to make tracks to the mine. I guess you haven't got your orders yet, though. Milo, who stayed behind in Glenbrook, seems to have an interest in Serenoa. If he goes back to the Wolffort domain, perhaps she will accompany him. I'm like trying to think, like, so what reasons could she really be interested in Serenoa and want to go back to the Wolffort domain about? And I'm like, they have the same eye color and hair color. No. That'd be hilarious. All right, off we go. There's more dialogue options for us. Our salt reserves are running low. We must restore trade with Hyzante as soon as possible. As one of the Saintly Seven, isn't there anything you can do? Okay, you don't worry so much. The consortium and merchants are already on the move. Let us give them some time. If we rush into negotiations, we may be taken advantage of. It is our best interest to wait for the opportune moment. We must have King Roland's permission before we act. In the meantime, we can share a portion of Wolffort's stores with the Crown City. I mean... Option... middle. Basically, I mean, I'd say this as well. We must have King Roland's permission before we act, because he is the king after all. And then we're nice by giving out a portion of Wolffort's stores within the Crown City. But there is like the whole thing, like if we don't negotiate wisely and we just go for the first deal, etc., we can end up with a worse deal. I mean, there are other ways to get the stuff for the now being. Also, we just need to go to the mine, right? We're rushing into negotiations we may be taken advantage of. It's in our best interest to wait for the opportune moment. Indeed, because that's kind of how we've played. Aye, negotiations ought to be done with a level head, after all. Our reserves won't last forever, but will hold long enough. I would think stores of salt nearly depleted after the trade stop. We already had some stocked up for emergencies, but the Aesfrosti army brought a whole bunch more. Hey! So the duchy has salt to spare. I suppose that really means they were preparing for war for some time. You put my mind at ease, Lord Wolffort. I cannot thank you enough. Wait, did I not get information there? Come on, someone needs to put two and two together. How did the duchy manage to amass this much salt to enable a war? Come on, people. Come on. We really need to get them thinking about these kind of things. Because... you know, of course there was the black market trade. Yeah, we get that. But equally, Hyzante would have really regulated this and kept track of the salt, where it's going, and would have never allowed enough surplus salt to leave their nation to allow another nation to have enough salt to go to war with. Surely. So where they got all that salt? To think that King Roland was alive all this time. Your house has my utmost respect for helping him reclaim the capital. My allegiance to the royal family shall not waver, not now or ever. See, I can kind of expect it to be... I obviously, like, House Wolffort isn't Hyzante, so they don't have the books. And I'm assuming that the whole reason that it's a blind spot for Hyzante is the fact that they really seriously believe that they are the only place with salt. Like, it's part of their doctrine, their religion, etc. But still, can someone, like, not high up not realize this at this point? We were downright cowards under Aesfrost's rule. But hearing stories of House Wolffort's courage in reclaiming the capitals inspired us to do better. I mean, I'm sure you just did what you could do. I'm not looking at you as being an occupied force. Not an occupying force, the occupied force. You did what you could do to survive and probably protect the populace. I don't begrudge your lack of resistance. Things were already over. You were doing the best you could after the fact, surely. No sparklies anywhere. Sad times. Will there be more than this? Wouldn't dare call anyone like that, like, you know, accuse them of cowardice or anything. That would be dumb. Well, at least I know where the cat is, even if I can't find a sparkly. Did Aesfrost kick out the cat? Right, we got some superior timber from the tree at least. That's pretty cool. It's worth 1,500. Spear of stone? We'll just take it from the bench. Lord Serenoa, what are you doing? Just ripping up this bench. Don't mind me. I need it for the war effort. Well, I guess more for the future war effort at this point in time. Seems to be a lot less sparklies on this map. An amulet of immunity was found in here. I'm not sure if that was sparkling or not, but it was too obvious a point for me to not check out. I've realized that there's barely any people to speak to here. We'll leave that conviction-changing, decision-making thing for a second. There's got to be one down these alleyways, right? How is there not one on either side of this alleyway? I'm just spamming the A button, just in case. This guy's like, what are you doing? Oh, some bandits were spotted on the outskirts of the Roselle village. Rumor has it they're led by some father and daughter duo. What were their names again? Travis and Trish. Yes, a father and daughter. That sounds like Travis and Trish. But what could they be after? You learn about family banditry. Sounds like they bandit their own family. Just their family. It's an information, isn't it? Recently, a gang of bandits, their numbers greater than even the Wolffort soldiers can manage, have been spotted near the Roselle village. Apparently, they're led by a certain father and daughter duo. So Frederica, by the look of it, is going right into a showdown with those who tried to take her in the first place. It's kind of interesting. Lord Serenoa, I've heard great things about you. You were appointed one of the Saintly Seven and even demonstrated your prowess as Lord of a high house in battle. How should we Royalists address you from now on? The boss, I don't know. How should you address me? Like, Lord Serenoa, because that's my actual title? I don't think you need much more than that. So there weren't that many goodies around. I'm wondering what the Amulet of Immunity is like, though, however. Grants immunity to all status ailments. Wait, did we get that from, like, that's like Avlora's thing, isn't it? Oh, shoot. Who do we give this to? I mean, I guess Eredor. Wouldn't you say? Eredor's usually the one getting hit. And when Eredor gets provoked, it's absolutely terrible for us. Chat's vote is done, is it? The winning vote was return to the castle with 75%. Fight bandits was 25%. Remain in the capital was 0. No one wants me to remain here. I mean, the vote was a bit skewed as well because I didn't even let anyone have an opinion before I voiced my own opinion. I'm like, well, you know. Games had Simon unconscious for hours and hours and hours and hours. But now he's suddenly awake. We Royalists, along with Minister Patriot himself, are helping to rebuild the capital, Patriot. We must reverse all the changes that Aesfrost has wrought and see the Crown City back to its former glory. I know that there are many problems facing the kingdom now, but us Royalists are more than happy to take care of everything. Is it true that the Royalists try to win the Archduke's favour in order to protect themselves? If you want our trust, tell us everything you learned about Aesfrost under their rule. Let us serve King Roland together. Please see to domestic affairs and reassure the people that everything will be okay. Okay, let's not just go with a straight-up accusation. Let's go with the middle ground choice, I feel. If you want our trust, tell us everything you learned about the Aesfrost under their rule. I don't want to be completely in bed with them. I wish I could, my lord, but Archduke Gustadolf had us doing only the most menial of tasks. There isn't anything I can tell you. I should have suspected as much. There's no way Gustadolf would tell anything to those he couldn't trust. I do remember one thing, though. Mr. Patriot said that Lady Erica always wanted fresh fruit and wine brought to her room. I see. Thank you for your help. Okay, that was a big fail. 0 information was gained this day. Nothing of worth. Alright then, I think we're done, even though I'm spamming A now in the middle of the pool, but the app... Oh, there is something here. No, it's just sparkles. See? There are things that just... There's a butterfly. That's what it is. You think that they're sparklies. You think that you're going to get an item. But no, sir. Also, I'm guessing because there is the vote went that way and there's no overwhelming against for my desires. This golden route we've heard of is still in that direction, which is always nice. These votes, they gauge too much. The not so blind playthrough when you're being led like this. Okay. Anything going on here? Oh, quite big room. He's telling me there's no sparkly in here. Yeah, exactly. 1,500 in cash. That's just money itself. We just ripped it off and went, war funds. Sorry, Roland. War funds. Well, there's a goodie too. Extra large HP recovery pellet times 2. I guess that's our exploration done. It's time for the convincing. Just rip everything up going, you know, I could actually make some money out of these as well, you know. Interestingly, you can convince everyone, even though surely people are going to split up. That's kind of confusing. I'm guessing the other guys would be a stone wall then, right? Like he should be a stone wall to go into the other things. As the steward of House Wolffort, it is my duty to let Lord Simon know what happened while he was ill. Bendix has already chosen a path. Oh, okay, cool. So that literally we cannot pick. We cannot convince them at all. If the rumors of bandits are true, then Jerome and the others might be in danger. I must go to the village and see how my people are faring. I will remain here in the capital, but you needn't worry about me. You must decide where you need to be, friend. Everyone is full on chosen. Can't convince them. So, essentially, if we can convince, like, Chouette or Gila away, we will be extra safe, but I guess we should go with the swing votes first and foremost. We have just done a save, so we should be good. If I fail the thing, will I save scum? I don't know. Anna!
Lord Serenoa.
We finally managed to rout the Aesfrosti forces from the capital. But it seems our busy days are not over yet. Now we must decide which issue requires our attention most. So, Anna's bets are hedged by the look of it. Seems our busy days are not over yet, but which issue requires us most? Everything is this one should listen to reason. I wish to return home and tell father of our victory. Actually, I'd rather... See, the thing is, I wouldn't be like, hey, Dad, I won. I'd be like, hey, Dad, can you help me with anything? You know, like, this is what's happened. This is what's done. This is where the current state of play is. Can you think of anything that I've overlooked? I wouldn't be like, oh, Dad, by the way, praise me. It would be literally, I need your wisdom. You would have us return to Wolffort, my lord. Okay, my father has finally opened his eyes again. I will see his condition for myself. Now is the time for Roland to show his people what he is capable of. We would be naught but a hindrance. If we go to Wolffort, Milo is likely to follow. It would be best for us to keep an eye on her. It would best for us, in fact. I just added the correct words in. Spy on spy action. I mean, the thing is, my personal, like what I said before about stuff, the one that most leads to it for me is definitely this option. Now is the time for Roland to show his people what he is capable of. We would be naught but a hindrance. This is true. This is what I said not 10 minutes ago. Like, Roland has to, like, be a king now. I'm going to go with that because that's literally what I said 2 seconds ago.
Yes?
Indeed, this is an important time to regain the people's trust in the royal family. It would be best for House Wolffort to take a step back. But even though King Roland is at the forefront, we should not forget that we are still his vassals and ought to protect and support him however we can. I understand your concerns for our home, and yet... Anna is deep in thought. Maybe not good. It's not an English game or design was that type. It's a Japanese game translated into English. There are a few typos. That there are just a few words that don't make necessarily that much sense, or like sentences that might be missing out a word that changes the overall look of things. Like here's one of the examples. Raise an ally's fire resistance for 2 turns and grant them the ability to counter fire attacks, which is not how that ability works. That makes it sound like if someone uses a fire attack on you, it will counter that ability, but it doesn't. It's whenever anyone attacks you in melee, it counters with a fire damage burst. So it's counter with fire attacks is actually what it should be. It should be that, basically. When you're translating a game, there are sometimes going to be things missed. Bit by bit. I feel like I did badly there. Uh-oh. The Crown City is finally back in Glenbrook's hands, but our work's far from over.
Listen, lad.
Where do you think we should go from here, lad? Again, everything. We should return home and tell father of our victory. I should have seen that one coming. So why Wolffort, eh? If both Roland and I investigate, we are bound to draw people's attentions, the Royalists included. Literally, my father's just regained consciousness. Don't you wish to see him too, Eridor? Of course I do. I near burst into tears when I heard he was back on his feet. I want to go back home and see him as soon as possible. Then tell him all about your exploits.
And further.
To be honest, I think going back to Wolffort is what's best for us right now. Okay, by the sound of it, he's on team. I don't think that was an issue whatsoever. Was that sparkly then? Oh, see, look at... Oh, there was one! Quality fiber. I wasn't just being dumb. I actually did see a sparkle. Right.